my worst nightmare in pet travel woes happens on this flight. She shits in her bag.
Oh, no.
And I'm in the middle seat.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I was traveling with a friend and she was on the aisle. So I was like, sorry, you got to move. And I got to take this rancid pet to the bathroom so that it doesn't disturb everyone around me.
Oh, God.
Because all I need is for 30 people to turn around and be like, are you the guy from Shrinking with your shitty dog?
Or did you shit?
Or is it you? You stinky, shitty shrinking man.
Oh, my God.
Your show should be called Shitting.
Not Shrinking. Okay. When was the last time you actually went to the doctor when you were supposed to? Be honest. I have absolutely said, it'll heal on its own, or I don't have the time, or my favorite lie is probably nothing. Meanwhile, I am Googling symptoms like, is this rash bad, while spiraling on WebMD. But here is the thing. ZocDoc makes it so easy to find and book a doctor. There's literally no excuse left. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. I'm talking dentist, dermatologist, therapist, primary care, urgent care, all of it. You can filter by insurance, location, specialty, and even by actual patient reviews. You'll see real appointment slots, and then you could book one right then and there. No phone tag, no hold music. Just click, boom, ooh, you're done. Appointments usually happen within 24 to 72 hours, sometimes even the same day. I need to book a doctor. This is 100% what I would use. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/dateme to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/dateme. ZocDoc.com/dateme. This episode of Why Won't You Date Me is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com has vacation rentals and hotels across the U.S. And truly, they have the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone. I'm talking about your sleep light, early riser mom, your picky partner, or the whole high-maintenance group chat. Whether you're planning a romantic weekend, a friend's trip, or just need to get out of your house because you're tired of looking at the same four walls, Booking.com has you covered. When I'm traveling to a new city, I'm always looking to stay at like a cute new boutique hotel, and I want something unique, a little glam, a place with a velvet couch, maybe a clawfoot tub, and the windows that overlook the city. I want to be located in the city so I can shop around and then come back to do my beautiful makeup in a gorgeous bathroom and take a selfie in an amazing room for the gram that will make my ex jealous. It's a tough ask, but I've always found what I'm looking for on Booking.com. So I know you can too. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Oh, baby. Welcome to a new episode of Why Won't You Date Me? A podcast where me, Nicole Byer, was trying to figure out why I was so single, even though you could come in my ear and say, that's not cum, that's an earring.
Oh my God.
I'm sick. My guest today is an actor, producer, and director who you first fell in love with as Mark St. James on Ugly Betty. He's a Critics' Choice winning supporting actor on Apple TV+. Sometimes reading's really hard.
These words are all correct.
Okay, thank you. But I did say, it sounded weird coming out of my mouth. Okay. on the Apple TV Plus. I think that's better than just on Apple TV Plus series Shrinking, along with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. I'm so excited. It's Michael Urie.
Hello.
Hi.
I feel like we've been talking for an hour already, because maybe we have, actually.
We have been talking for a little bit because I'm trying to waste all your time. Sorry about it.
But thank you for that lovely intro. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you for being here. I'm a big fan. I think you're just delightful. And I think you're wonderful, and I'm so excited to get into it.
Let's talk about it.
So, my assistant, Lindsay, did some research, and you went to Juilliard?
Yes. I went to, I like to pronounce it Juilliard.
Juilliard?
And try to miss, like as many silent letters as possible. Juilliard.
I like that.
I did. It was a great experience for me.
That's 4 years?
4 years.
Okay, here's a question. It's a conservatory, so that means there's no academics, right?
So I got a BFA.
Yes.
And now one could get an MFA. And there's doctorate programs. But yes, it is a conservatory. You can go, I believe you can go and receive no proper higher level of degree. You could just get a diploma.
Mm-hmm. But you took academics. You had to do like math?
No, not math. There was no math at all. Definitely no math. It was basically you take like theater history and you take, they call it humanities.
Okay.
And that's the only time you ever mix with other disciplines. That's the only time you're ever in a class with a dancer or a musician.
Oh.
And it's like, you're talking about philosophy and psychology, and it's still like very, arts brained.
Mm-hmm.
And
were y'all fucking?
Well, there was fucking. Oh my God. Yeah. Are you kidding? Bunch of like artists rolling around.
Did the fucking crossover? This is insane.
Oh,
Why am I'm like, so.
And in
did
fact,
cellists fuck the dancers?
And in fact, I would say probably more because you were so, well, I don't know about that. Because every class inevitably would have some couple, some
Because do you like travel together? It's like
correct. So you don't work. You will sometimes cross-pollinate amongst the class, amongst the years. But you stay with the same class all 4 years. It's about 20 people. And you're with the same people the whole time. And you become, you're really more like siblings. So it's kind of gross when you start hooking up. But it does happen. It's inevitable you hook up. I hooked up with people in my class. It's inevitable.
I love that. That makes me so happy. And I don't know why.
Well, there's something like, I think there is something sexy about, first of all, they're all like hot in their 20s. Everyone's in their, early 20s, sometimes late 20s.
And everyone's talented. It's not like humiliating to watch someone do a monologue because you're like, you're good at this.
Right. And when you're in a class together, you're seeing each other at your worst and your best. So like all that's out of the way, which is great. And you're often in like scantily clad, you're in dance class or you're in movement class where you're like wearing tights. So you like already got a sense. There's no surprise.
There's no secrets.
There's no secrets. There's no secrets. But there's also with the fucking, there's you do like we certainly would cross-pollinate that way amongst the disciplines. Like you got your eye on the dancers or some musicians, maybe a composer.
Ooh.
Things like that.
Wait, I want to fuck a composer. I would truly be like, can you make music for this right now?
Can we fuck with your keyboard?
Yeah. Oh my God, what a dream that would be.
But I had like, let's see, I went out with some dancers for sure, and cellist once, in fact.
Ooh.
I think that's it. Outside my, and then like certainly a lot of actors, but my roommate was a tuba player in the dorm.
I like that.
So
did he have to practice his tuba in the dorm?
Great question. And no, he never even brought it in the dorm.
Oh.
And I must say, the dorms at Juilliard are lovely. They're right next door to Juilliard. And there's like 5 sizes. So like there's a suite, there's the A room, which is huge, which is actually, and by huge, it's probably the size of this room for 2 people.
For a college dorm, I think that's rather large.
Pretty large for 2 people in New York.
Yes.
And then maybe not this big, but like, let's say it's this big. And then there's a B room that's a little bit smaller. And then there's a C and a D room that are much smaller, but they're singles. And then there's the E room, which is
Ecstasy.
The same size. The same size as the single, but they stick 2 people in there.
Oh my God.
And you can kind of mess with the configuration. It's all bunk beds. You start with bunk beds, but you could like, it's two up high bunk beds, and then there's desks underneath. But you can like reconfigure it. It's like get an Allen wrench and pull it all apart. And so we had bunk beds, like proper bunk beds. My tuba player roommate.
Were you top or bottom?
I was top.
I was bottom bunk. My roommate at the time was like, well, why do you just get to be the bottom bunk? And I was like, because if I get on the top, I'll kill you. And then she didn't argue with me. I was like, you can't put the fattest person on top. That we're in art school, but like I know simple math and science, you know? Like I don't want to murder you. I really like your hair.
Thank you so much. I just put something new in it today.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through a phase where you were like, I don't want to be a curly-haired boy. I want straight hair.
Yes. The first 2 decades of my life, I did not. Well, because, when I grew up, in my day, in like middle school and high school, especially middle school, it was the era of the butt cut. Everyone had a center part.
Oh, the Devon Sawa.
The Devon Sawa, exactly. And they had center cut, and when you have curly hair, that is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to even do a side part, frankly. I mean, I can do a side part.
Mm-hmm.
If it's wet, I can do a side part and hope to God it doesn't curl up and become what you're looking at, which is essentially...
I love it. Do you ever use a diffuser?
I have used a diffuser. To straighten it?
No!
Oh, wait, sorry, what do you mean?
Diffusers are an attachment on a blow dryer that like makes it curly.
Yeah.
That holds the curls.
Yeah. I don't need much to hold the curl because it just sort of comes out curly. And when it's shorter, it's wavy.
Mm-hmm.
Wavy is like, what are you going to do with wavy?
I love wavy. I love any sort of textured hair. I just like things that are unique and different. That's like my favorite thing about a person.
Yeah.
When I see somebody, I'm like, ooh, wavy hair. Ooh, curls. I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
Well, so I was at Juilliard. My 3rd year, they asked me to grow my hair out for something. And that was the first time I ever realized that it would do this.
Oh.
Like a real curl.
What did they have you grow your hair out for?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. For the Fiasco Brothers Circus, which was a clown circus that we created. So at Juilliard, story time.
Story time.
At Juilliard, I don't know if he's still there. I'm sure they still do something like this, but there was this wonderful guy called Chris Bays who was a clown teacher. They called it physical comedy.
Yes.
But it's clown. It's like commedia dell'arte clown, but it's also his own version of clown. Basically, the first day of class, you all sit on one side of the room, and then he's like, okay, I want you all, and he'd talk like that. He's like, everybody, we'll go up 3 at a time, and you will stand in the corner over there, and then one by one, you will walk whoop, to the center of the room, and then whoop, downstage, and then you will say hi, and you will say your name, and then you go whoop, back, and you go back to the corner. Oh, and make us laugh. That's day one.
Boy, oh boy.
Day one.
Okay.
And, that's not easy.
No.
That's not easy to just like come out, say your name, and make everybody laugh.
Do you remember what you did?
I remember there was a day, I don't remember what I did that day, but I do remember a day when I totally nailed it. And it was, because we were, you're terrified. You're terrified. And like that's the class that most people cry in. Of all the classes. That's the class that more people cry in than any other class. And
really?
Yeah, totally.
I guess it is a very vulnerable thing to be like, make us all laugh. And then you're like, everyone's staring at me and I have to make you laugh.
Yeah. And when you do, it can be very cathartic. And so sometimes it was the success of it that made people cry, not the failure of it. But the failure was constant. And then sometimes, and this other thing, like, because it's so easy to like make a joke and then play the flop, as he said, but that was not allowed.
Wait, what does play the flop mean?
Basically, it's like, it's when you say something that's supposed to be funny and it doesn't, and then you say something.
Oh, to like undercut it, to be like, oh, I know. Usually people laugh at my jokes or whatever.
Exactly. And that's that was supposed to be funny, but that's like playing the flop. And you can sort of do it with that, because most of that class you're speaking in gibberish. You're not even speaking in English. So it's mostly like, like you would do something and they don't laugh and you'd be like and then that would get a laugh.
Yes.
And he would always bust us on that. Don't play the flop.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this one day I came out and basically I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. It was my turn and I just started going and I basically just like hopped sort of like, you know, when you have water in your ear and you jump on one leg to try to get it out. I sort of like jumped on one leg all the way out and down stage and kept doing it and nobody laughed. And then I stopped and then I started jumping on the other side and that got a laugh. And I got a bravo because he was really withholding with this. But if you did really well, he'd go, bravo. Very quiet.
There's
bravo.
Nothing like praise from somebody that you really, really like. Where you're like, I'm dying to impress you. Like I've done shows for like, I think it was in D.C. Yes, it was D.C. There was an elderly Black couple in the front row and my material it simply isn't for older people usually. It's just me being like, my pussy. And I didn't clock up till like 30 minutes into the show. And then I was like, oh no, are you having fun? And they were like, yes. And I said, okay. And then after every joke, I would look at them to make sure that they were laughing. And then I got like a belly laugh from her husband. And I was like, oh, phew, I can die happy.
Oh, thank you, elders. Thank you.
There's nothing like making somebody laugh that you're like, I need this from you.
It is interesting because on the one hand, all I really want is for young people to like me. But on the other hand, my elders, that's another, like when an older person thinks you're funny, it feels really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the children because children, they usually automatically like me. It's because I look like a cartoon character.
Right.
So they're just like, I like that lady. Yeah. She seems fun and she's loud. But it's the older people that I'm like, I don't think you like me very much.
I guess it's for me like the 10 years younger. The kids, great. Like teenagers, idiots. I don't care about them. The little kids, very desperate to be liked.
Yes.
And then like the young adults that I get, I'm like, okay, 20-somethings.
Yeah, I don't care about them.
Yeah, God.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
You're stronger than I.
I don't think so. 20? Your brain's not even fully developed yet.
No, 20 not. Maybe 26.
Okay. I still don't know if it's developed. I was so dumb until about 32.
Oh, wow.
Like truly just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, me too. Only 43.
I have a question.
I'm 44.
You're not single.
Yeah, that's correct.
Are you married? Or
No.
just partnered?
Common law.
Ooh, when did you meet?
Oh, we met. Ryan Spahn is my partner. And he and I first met, I think it was like 2006. And we met through a mutual friend who had been my classmate at Juilliard. And Ryan's classmate at the Interlochen Arts Academy, where he went to arts boarding high school. So
you didn't meet at karaoke?
It was a karaoke party.
Oh, okay, you were getting there. I was just
consulting the notes, fact checking me. Yes, it was a karaoke party. It was James's, our mutual friend James's birthday, and he had it at a karaoke party. Did I sing? No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I don't believe in performing badly.
Interesting.
As a
I do. I will do karaoke, and I am bad at it. Very, very bad.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Listen, I enjoy watching people perform badly. I just can't, on principle, get up and perform badly.
You don't think it's like fun? Fun to fail a little?
No, I don't. I guess I don't.
Or do a duet? Like, I
might do a duet. I might do like Summer Lovin' or.
Oh, see, that's fun.
I might join in with a group, or I once did I Got You, Babe.
That's fun.
With another gentleman. That was kind of fun. But I'm not going to get up there and like, I'm not going to sing. I've done it, and I've failed, and I sang "I Am I Said" by Neil Diamond, which, listener, do not ever sing that song at karaoke.
I don't know that song.
There's not enough instrumentation. You're too naked. You're out there, and it's basically a monologue, but on pitch, and I completely failed. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I like doing a duet with my friend Sashir. It's Evanescence. Wake me up.
Oh my God.
I can't wake up. That's the part I do.
Okay, well, that's a whole act. I see that. I feel like that's a whole act. It's just like someone will be like, let's get up and sing "Time of Your Life," and I'm like, I can't sing. I can't get up there and just do that.
It's tough. But if you just have a nice time and have the confidence, people will clap for you at the end, even if you're bad.
They will. Oh my gosh! Guess what? My friend died singing karaoke.
What?
Isn't this funny?
Why did you?
My friend
Why
Tad.
are you so happy about it?
I know, because
my friend died singing karaoke. What song was it?
The song was "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Honestly, that's pretty funny.
You know? I wish he'd sung "I Will Survive."
Ooh, that would have been just chew on the nose. What did he die from? Did he have like an aneurysm?
It was an embolism, a heart embolism. And he would love that we laugh about it. Because, I mean, it was very tragic and we loved him so much. He was young. It was horrible that he died. It was like devastating. But I always think that he died getting applause.
Oh,
which
is nice.
Really nice.
It is. I would love to die with people clapping.
Absolutely. What a way to go. First of all, he wasn't sick.
Really?
No, it was like
it was just like a freak accident.
Freak thing.
Oh my
His
God.
heart just stopped and he dropped dead. And it was like he wasn't sick. And so he didn't have to go through any of that stuff.
Did people think he was doing a bit at first?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, you weren't
That's
there.
a great question. I wasn't there. But that's a great question. They probably did. They were probably like, Tad.
Yeah, because if that happened to me, nobody would help me.
Right. They would be like, there she goes again.
Fully cold before somebody touched me. I'm always having a very fun time. I love that you had to backtrack and be like, it is tragic, it is sad.
Yes.
I constantly make dead parent jokes all the time,
Yeah.
so I absolutely get it.
I mean, I think most people who are dead would have wanted us to enjoy everything about them, including their death. And he was a great guy, and who knows what his life would be like now. I loved him very much, and I miss him a lot. But what a great way to go!
What a beautiful way to go!
Oh, I have another one. You want to hear another great way to go?
Yes.
Oh, this man was very old.
Mm-hmm.
He played my dad in Hamlet, the ghost of Hamlet's father, and his name was Keith Baxter, and he was an amazing old actor. He worked with Orson Welles.
Oh my God!
Great friends with Maggie Smith and Judy. He introduced me to Judi Dench. Like great.
What's his Dame Judi Dench like? Is she nice?
So nice.
Okay, good.
She served fish sticks.
Honestly, that's rude. I don't want fucking fish sticks.
And champagne.
Okay, now I'm back on board.
Better. And she has this beautiful house. I went to her house, and she has this lovely property and trees on her property planted for people who have died. So there's probably a Keith tree now.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know. It was really lovely.
I wish I had the land.
I know. I wish I had.
My God. Judi Dench's money.
Yeah, exactly. She got money. She was lovely.
So how did this man die?
Okay, so Keith, he was 90 when he died, or 91. And he had stopped being able to drive. He couldn't really see very well anymore. And he and his husband were in Corsica. And it rained for like 3 days.
Where's Corsica?
Corsica's in France. It's France, I think.
Okay.
It's a European.
I'll take your word for it.
European
it doesn't really matter.
beach area.
Ooh.
Is that right? Fact checker?
AI says the Italian. It's
AI. Let's not use AI anymore, Mars.
That's just what Google says.
Keep scrolling.
First Google result.
I keep scrolling past it.
Sorry, I had no idea how to even spell it. Yeah, I think it's an island in the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay, so it's
Nice.
out there.
And one of the 18 regions of France.
Oh.
Yeah, so I knew it was like
somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I've never been, obviously. And they were there for a few days, and it rained every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it stopped raining finally. And Keith was like, I'm going in the ocean. And his husband was like, it's going to be really rough and cold. I wouldn't go out there. It's been raining. And Keith was like, I don't care. I want to swim. I want to get back into the ocean. And that's how we talked. And he went and the sea took him. And
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
Wild.
But it was kind of beautiful. 90-year-old man. Also, his health was slowly failing. He couldn't drive anymore. He was losing his sight. He'd had I think a heart operation. And
oh my God.
But he was still able to swim. He wanted to go swim. And he didn't like disappear. He died and probably heart failure or something. And or some, and drowned or whatever. And his body was recovered. And it did end up being like kind of a horrible ordeal for his husband, I think, because you're in a foreign country.
Coordinate
and
shit. Yeah.
And so it was tragic, but it's also like
kind of beautiful. Like he really wanted to swim and he got to swim. Honestly, though, I'm psychotic. If the ocean took me, I would survive and become like Queen of the Whales. Like I actually fundamentally believe that. I don't think I would die.
You wouldn't die. You would develop a blowhole.
Yes, and then I would become one with the whales, and then we would like take over ships together real quick. We gotta take a break.
And now from oil. Now a word from our oil sponsors.
Okay, listen. When summer hits, I get the itch to refresh everything, my wardrobe, my suitcase, my vibe. And I'm not about to drop luxury amounts of money on things I'll only wear twice. That's why I love Quince. Quince gives you timeless, elevated pieces at prices that actually make sense. We're talking 100% European linen shorts and dresses starting at $30. Italian leather platform sandals, chic swimwear, yes please, and travel accessories. Ooh, baby, their weekender duffel is beautiful and perfect for a weekend trip. I also love their Napa leather luggage tags. They just elevate my luggage and my travel. Quince works directly with top artisans and cuts out the middlemen. So you're getting luxury without the markup. And they only work with factories that use safe, ethical practices and high quality materials. I love that. So if you want to upgrade your summer style or just look like you have your life together when you're sprinting through TSA, check out Quince. Give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/dateme for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dateme to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dateme. This podcast is sponsored by SquareSpace. SquareSpace is the all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're launching a new business, selling your spicy little side project, or just want to make a gorgeous website to show off your stuff, Squarespace has everything you need. I know plenty of people in my life who use this. Comics, creatives, friends with candle businesses. You don't have to know how to code or design anything fancy. The templates are already beautiful and their tools are drag and drop simple. You can make a sleek, professional-looking site in no time. And they have this tool called Blueprint AI that helps generate a full custom layout based on your goals. Just tell them what you're doing, like booking appointments or selling merch, and it builds the site for you. You can tweak it as much or as little as you want. And if you're offering services, they've got built-in scheduling, email campaigns, and invoicing all in one place. Go to squarespace.com/dateme for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DATEME to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And we're back. Michael, when you started getting fame, notoriety, booking roles. I don't know why I said it like that.
Because we're still talking like Keith.
Just to honor a man who was carried away by the ocean. Did people ever slide into your DMs where people like, let me get at that?
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Okay, so this is actually part of the reason why when Ryan and I, my partner and I met in 2006, it didn't take. So the rest of that story is that we met, we were supposed to go on a date, we didn't go on a date because a different friend died and I was depressed. Not Tad, not Keith, different friend.
Just a different friend.
A lot of dead friends. And I was depressed and so I canceled on him and we never connected for like 2 years.
Oh.
And part of that was because that also happened to be when I was first on TV. So we met, and then suddenly I was on TV. And people started sliding into my DMs. And I was really enjoying being a little bit famous and a lot of bit single. And it was, I learned, I dated a few people that were like fans. And that was not a...
What was that like?
Well, they were very sweet. But it was like probably wrong.
Okay.
Ultimately, just because like they weren't necessarily into me, they were into like the character I was playing or like the idea of me or whatever. So that wasn't such a good thing. They were sweet.
Yeah,
nobody was
I get
crazy,
that it might have been sweet, but also it is a strange thing. Like my partner hasn't seen me do stand up, and I
ever
nope. And I don't really care. And I don't think he ever needs to. Because it's like...
How much material about him is in...
None, actually.
Oh, really?
There isn't very much because he makes me happy. It's not... I don't know how to make it funny. Like, it's fair. Like, isn't it great that he's so nice to me? And it's like, they're like, we want jokes. And I'm like, I don't have jokes about that.
Right.
I talk a lot about, like, people who've hurt me or whatever.
Right.
And then I do like a solid 30 minutes about talking about other people I've hooked up with. And I was like, you don't have to watch that. I feel like that would be insane for him to sit in the dark and watch his girlfriend talk about this dude when he fucked me. Like, what? No. So I kind of like that he doesn't know that kind of persona. That. And then he's seen a couple of things I've been in, but he very much is like, the person I'm dating is this person who also does this thing. And maybe I'll get around to watching it, but I don't need to because I have this person.
Well, what does he do?
The computer.
Oh, piano.
And he does play piano.
Oh my gosh. So all things fingies. He uses his fingies.
He loves
lucky
his
you.
I mean, yes. Lucky me. But he does coding or something.
Sure.
He's explained it a lot.
And your eyes go like this.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. I don't understand computers. I don't understand math and stuff.
Same.
Science, tough.
Really tough.
I could never be a scientist.
Imagine how God feels. I'm not
he
sure
must be so confused. What did I create? Why did I do this? Here's a question. If you ever got a role where you had to play a scientist or something, would you take it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because I can act smart. I'm just not smart.
I don't know if I can act smart. I've had a couple auditions where there was medical jargon, and I was like, I don't think I could do this. So I just didn't do the auditions.
Oh, see, I could do it.
I don't think so. The doctor, the flaxo, waxo. I see, I can't even make it up.
It's gibberish. You're in my clown class.
I would kill in the clown class.
But, I think part of that is, not to bring up Juilliard again, but we trained on Shakespeare. So that kind of stuff really, I think, even if I don't know the word, I know how to say a line.
Sure.
I can learn the word and I can,
But I think Shakespeare is different than medical jargon.
No, it's exactly the same. But you know what? Actually, you're right. It's not the same, but it is legal jargon.
It is legal jargon, and it is a bit like a dialect of a different language.
Yeah.
I love Shakespeare.
Oh
my
best,
God.
Right?
I had read, maybe it was 12th Night, or maybe it was
play.
The Tempest. And then I was like, well, I have to have all of his works. So I went to Barnes & Noble and I got the complete works of Shakespeare, which is I don't know, a 20-pound book.
Sure.
And I did not pay for it. I simply left Barnes & Noble with it.
Wow.
And that was the first time I learned, if you leave a store with authority, nobody really asks you any questions. I've left Barnes & Noble with so many heavy books.
This is crazy that you're saying this to me. I used to work at Barnes & Noble. So
really?
I know. Yeah, I worked at Barnes & Noble in high school and community college, and I know how easy it is to steal from Barnes & Noble. It is
incredibly easy. Even if they have the little sensor in it, it peels right off.
Peels right off?
Oh my God, they make it easy. And I love that Barnes & Noble is educate yourself. You don't have to pay. No, I'm kidding. They want you to pay.
They definitely want you to pay. I used to steal so much, and I would steal for people, or I would let people, my friends would come in.
Oh, see, that's nice.
And bring up a stack of books, and I'd be like, you can pay for this bookmark. And see you later.
I love that.
And so much so that our theater play section started to
just dwindle. That's so funny.
So much so that I lied to my manager. And I was like, I've noticed, manager, I've noticed that it seems like the play section is dwindling. I wonder what that's about. And he literally said, well, I guess, all those actors who can't afford books are coming in and stealing books. And I'm like, that would be crazy.
That would be insane.
Why would actors do such a thing?
Was this the Barnes & Noble on 86?
No, Barnes & Noble Park and Preston in Plano, Texas.
Oh. I thought this was in New York City.
No, it was when I was in high school and then.
Did you date in high school?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't. I simply don't understand how people did it.
I didn't date any boys in high school.
Oh, you were dating the ladies?
Dated ladies. When did I first date a boy? Probably after high school. Yeah, because I went to community college for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I liked boys in high school, but I didn't date any boys
You
in high
weren't
school.
like, right. I'm going to act on this.
Yes.
I get it.
It wasn't until the first time I made a pass at a boy was the summer after high school. And, it was...
Give it to me. Tell me.
It was that... I just turned into that same boy.
I love it.
That 17-year-old boy.
I simply love when you remember something and it takes you back and you feel like a little kid again.
Yeah. There was, okay. So, sorry. I did speech and debate in high school. And sometimes we would go on away trips. And, stuff would happen. And I went on, but I went on this trip to so it was nationals. It was the national competition.
And I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like someone has explained speech and debate to me before.
It's complicated.
But you just talk and there's like a jury maybe? No, that's mock trial. See, okay, I've talked about this a lot. I did 0 clubs in high school. So I don't understand clubs.
Okay. Speech and debate is actually very complicated.
Okay.
And it's all explained in my documentary feature, Thank You for Judging, that you
Really?
can get on nextmedia.com.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
I love that.
But in a nutshell, it is debate, which is like cross-examination debate where two people are given a topic, or Lincoln Douglas debate where it's one person debating an issue, or extemporaneous speaking where you're given a topic and you are just supposed to speak about it extemporaneously, or original oration where you write your own speech about something. Okay, so that's sort of debate.
Okay.
Then there's also oral interpretation, which is sort of the speech side of things, which is more like acting.
Okay.
So like dramatic interpretation. This is actually the best description anyone's ever given of speech and debate. I hate to be like a toot your own horn kind of a guy.
I get it.
But I'm nailing it.
You are.
Oral interpretation, dramatic interpretation, where you do a 10-minute section from a play or a book, a published work, and you can play you can do it however you want, but you're supposed to stick to the script and edit. Or humorous interpretation, where you can play multiple characters. And then there's duo interpretation where there's 2 of you and you can play one character. Okay, so I was there for dramatic interpretation. I was doing a 10-minute monologue from a one-man play about Tennessee Williams. So I was playing Tennessee Williams.
Okay.
At 17. And I ended up winning the national championship. That's not the story, but it's important that you know that I was the champion. Before my champion crowning, before my
pre-champ crowning,
I had started to hang around with these 2 boys who were also my age from I don't know where. I don't remember what their names were, and I don't even remember how we met, but we kept running into each other, and we kept glomming onto each other, basically because we smelled it, like
you were like, I think you might be gay, and I'm gay.
You gay, I'm gay, we gay.
Let's be gay together.
Let's we 3 be gay from our separate corners of the country because we were.
Oh my God! Did you have a Challengers moment?
Okay.
Were you Zendaya?
So this is the thing. We ended up finally like owning it up to each other. But it was this situation where like John liked Michael, Michael liked Bob, and Bob liked John. And it was such a bummer because it didn't really work.
It didn't come full circle.
We all liked the wrong boy. And we all sort of said so. God, it was such a mature thing of us to do.
It really is at 17 years old to be like, well, this isn't going to work. We don't like each other.
Right. We know we're alike, but we don't like each other. And I even remember like after I won the thing, so that was like throughout the week. Maybe we were on the same hotel and we kept running into it at the pool or whatever. But we kept, and I was really putting the moves on this one guy. And when I finally owned up to it, he was like, I like him. And that guy was like, well, I like you. And I was like, oh. And it was like, really, we should have just like had a thrisome.
Yes.
But we didn't. we were way too.
Well, I guess you were 17.
We were 17.
So it's not like that was the first thing you were like, you know what?
Yeah.
We'll solve this. We'll just have a threesome.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, I didn't even know how to kiss a boy yet. So it was, but it was, we were really sweet. Everyone was really sweet to each other.
But then after you won, did feelings change?
After I won, I remember the two of them found me, rushed up to me to congratulate me. And I kind of looked at the one who I liked but didn't like me, kind of like, this is what you're missing. You could have been with the champion.
You could have been with the champion. Instead, you're a loser alone. I love that so much. Michael, we have to take another break. This show is sponsored by Betterhelp. Let's talk about men's mental health for a sec. Okay, there's this weird pressure out there for men to always have it together, never show emotion, and never need help. But the truth is strong as hell to admit that you're struggling and decide to do something about it. So if you're a man carrying a lot right now, it doesn't make you weak. Whether it's stress, burnout, anxiety, whatever's on your plate, you deserve support. That could be from a friend, a loved one, or a therapist. Therapy can help you learn better coping skills, set boundaries, and be the version of yourself you want to be. And with BetterHelp, getting started is easy. They've got over 35,000 therapists and already have helped more than 5 million people. You can match with someone who fits your needs, join sessions from anywhere, and if it's not the right fit, which is really important, you can switch anytime because finding a good therapist is kind of like dating. You really need to find someone who vibes with you. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. My listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/dateme. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dateme. Sometimes you got everything planned out and then boom, your car breaks down, your fridge stops working, life moves at you fast, but your paycheck, it still shows up every 2 weeks. And that's why I want to tell you about EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work. Up to $150 a day, up to $750 between paychecks. You just download the app, verify your check, and access what you've already earned. Then it's paid back automatically on payday. No hidden fees, no catch, just tip what feels right. EarnIn gives you a little breathing room right when you need it. Download EarnIn today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in "Why Won't You Date Me" under podcast when you sign up. It really helps the show. Why won't you date me under podcast? EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash out user agreement for details. Services are not available in all states. Hey, Michael, we are back. Wait, what's the most romantic vacation you've taken?
We did a beautiful few weeks in Italy. That was pretty last minute because you know how being in this show, and my partner Ryan's an actor too, so it's hard to plan trips.
If you plan something, you will book something. So usually, if I'm like hungry for something, I will book something.
Absolutely.
And be like, let me cancel it.
Yeah. How many times between the two of us have we had to do that? And this time, I think we both knew we had something like in a month. And so we were able to be like last minute, let's go. And it was, and we knew where we were flying into and where we were flying out of. And we knew where we were staying the first night. Well, the first city. And that was it.
Honestly, I kind of like that. I love a choose your own adventure. We'll figure it out when we get there. I think that's the most fun.
It was pretty cool. And it also like, it makes everything. I think it makes everything more special in that it's less special. Like there's no disappointments when you don't have a bunch of plans. Ryan and I travel great together, and I have a few friends that I like to travel with. I did have a pretty nightmarish travel experience. It wasn't travel. It was just flying from New York to LA. That's the last time I was in New York a few weeks ago for a week, and I flew back with my dog. Oh. And she's almost 14. Oh. And we've had her since she was 2, they say. They claimed when we rescued her, she was 2. And she goes everywhere. She's like 15 pounds. She goes, dressing room backstage on Broadway or in my trailer drinking or whatever. She is an easygoing, everyone loves her. But in the last year, and I think part of it's her balance. She doesn't really hear so much anymore. She's become less of a good traveler. And it stresses me out.
Oh, yeah.
And then, a dog can sense that. And so when I get stressed out, she gets stressed out. And Ryan is a more calming energy than I, just in general.
Well, I think that's always a good relationship.
Yes.
One has to balance the other. I'm insane and my partner is so even-keeled.
Right. Ryan is super, super chill and I am a basket case. And so Kinley, our dog, probably likes me more because I'm more fun, but definitely he's daddy. And so when we're apart, really, it's when he leaves. It's not us being apart. It's him leaving. If she sees him leave, that's really bad. She gets really upset. And so this last trip, he left town the day before I left town. And he went to Chicago and I was heading to LA. And he left town. She was very sad and very stressed out. She watched him walk out. She watched him pack bags and she watched him walk out. And then it was just me and her for a day. And I was preparing to leave. So I was stressed. She was sad. And the morning we were to fly, she got diarrhea.
Oh,
and sometimes when she gets diarrhea, it's one day. And sometimes it's 4 weeks. So that she got that happened one time. That only happened one time. Everyone's like, your dog isn't healthy.
Is not okay.
And you're a bad dad. That happened one time. She was sick for 4 weeks and the vets didn't know what was going on. So this is the morning we're about to fly. She's got diarrhea. And I'm like, is this going to be my life for the next 4 weeks again? And so I stress out. She stresses out. I stuff her in a bag and we get in a cab and she is, and usually she just goes to sleep in the bag. But now she's moving around. She's scratching. It's not good. And we get to the airport and we go to one of those pet relief rooms, which are so great. And she's still very sick. She's still pooping. She's still pooping. It's not good. And my worst nightmare in pet travel woes happens on this flight. She shits in her bag.
Oh, no.
And I'm in the middle seat.
Oh, no.
Luckily, I was traveling with a friend and she was on the aisle. So I was like, sorry, you got to move. And I got to take this rancid pet to the bathroom so that it doesn't disturb everyone around me.
Oh, God.
Because all I need is for 30 people to turn around and be like, are you the guy from Shrinking with your shitty dog?
Or did you shit?
Or is it you? You stinky, shitty shrinking man.
Oh, my God.
Your show should be called Shitting.
Not Shrinking.
So I have to take her and it happens 3 times.
Oh, no.
Endless flight from New York to Los Angeles. And I'm in the tiny airplane bathroom cleaning up dog shit. I literally at one point, because the 3rd time I could tell she was about to, so I got her to the bathroom in time and put her on the floor so she could shit on the floor of the airplane bathroom. And I'm standing on the toilet. So she she's walking around in a circle with her face in the corner and then finally
oh, God.
And I'm on the ground wiping the floor of an airplane bathroom.
I'll say this. It was probably the first time it was cleaned in a very long time.
Thank you.
They're fucking disgusting.
Disgusting.
Oh.
And because I knew she was sick, I had the foresight to get a packet of wipes and so I had what I needed. And I did, I wasn't a disgusting poop smeared man for the whole day. But wow, was that a tough one?
Traumatic.
Traumatic.
I don't fly with my dog because he bites and he's bad. But after that, I would be like, that's a wrap. I'm so sorry. You got to stay here. But also, there's doggy diapers. But I'm sure that didn't occur to you at the time.
Oh, well, no. And I didn't know. Excuse me. That was a horrible hiccup. I didn't know that I almost threw up. Also, I'm also nauseous from the story. I didn't know about, I mean, I guess I knew there was doggy diapers.
But it's not like your first thought to be like, oh, I'll just slap a diaper on my dog.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, so much of it is like, I feel bad for her.
Yes.
Down there in that little bag.
Yes.
Trying to tell me that she needs to get out and poop.
And it's like, you can't, we're on a plane. Sorry about it.
There's nowhere for you to go. You have to just like walk around in circles inside your little bag and then poop on yourself. Oh.
But it is nice that they didn't have to like reroute the plane. Do you remember the story about there was a passenger on a plane who shit everywhere and they had to like reroute the plane? It's not funny, but it really is.
They had to reroute the plane?
Yeah, because someone was shitting up and down the aisles. I don't know any of the ins
this
or outs.
does ring a bell.
I simply don't know any details other than there was somebody, they be shitting.
And why?
I don't know. They were sick. They be shitting.
And they didn't go to the bathroom?
I think they were trying to make it to the bathroom. And then they were, it was like a train.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. We're all just like barely alive.
I know.
You know?
And it's wild that your body will just go, oh no, I'm not going to do what I normally do. It's like, but please let me shit in the toilet.
Have you ever had food poisoning?
I've had food poisoning more times than I can count.
Same.
Let's see.
When was the last time?
Last Sunday, I left pizza in my car overnight. And then when I went to go walk my dog, I like grabbed something out of the car and I was like, ooh, there's pizza in here. And I was like, I don't think I should eat that. But I took it into the house and then I ate it.
Nicole.
And then I was so sick for 2 days.
What kind?
It was just a little shitting. And by a little, I mean a lot.
All of it. All the shit.
Like, truly, all the pizza I ate came right fucking out almost immediately.
It's still in a triangle shape somehow.
Truly, just solid pizza falling out of my asshole. And I even texted multiple people before I ate it, should I eat this? And they all said no. And I said, I'm gonna.
Still did. That's...
Yeah.
I would say most of the time that I've had food poisoning, while I'm eating the thing that poisoned me, there's a moment where I go, maybe not. And yet, I finish it.
Yeah, it's just like...
Because we're disgusting animals.
Food. I want food. Give me the food.
I know.
And my boyfriend was gonna bring me over the pizza that he had left over because we like split it up. I took 2 pieces home and he kept 2 pieces. And I was like, should I eat this? And he goes, no, I'll bring you my refrigerated slice. And I was like, no,
I want
you
the
don't
car
have
slice.
to. So then I ate the car slice. And it was truly just like chewing on Pepto-Bismol for 3 days or 2 days. It was tough.
I'm so sorry.
And I did it to myself. And then 2 days later, I hit myself in the face so I have a Jeep, like a soft top Jeep, and the back window pops out and you can like flip it up onto the roof to get stuff into the back.
Yeah.
And it's like a pretty heavy bar that like locks in for it to like lock down. And I didn't put it on the roof high enough and it came down, it hit me right in the face and knocked my glasses off. And I think I had a concussion.
Oh my God.
So that was like 2 days after I got over the food poisoning. I had a tough week last week.
You should be dead.
I should be dead. And then I went to Beyonce the day after that.
What day? What day was that?
This was...
Is it Sunday?
No, this was Wednesday. So I hit myself on...
You went to the Friday show? I went to Sunday.
I think it was the Wednesday show. Maybe there wasn't a Wednesday show? Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was in Denver on Thursday, and then I changed altitudes, and then my head hurt even
God.
more. It was a wild week.
You had food poisoning, a concussion, Beyonce, and altitude sickness?
Uh-huh.
How are you here?
I simply don't know. I don't know. And altitude sickness. Do you have altitude sickness?
No, I've never had that. Knock
You're
on wood.
very, very, very lucky. So mine isn't like... So sometimes I'll be like a little dizzy. During my shows, I like stepped a little funny and I was like, am I going down? But I just had to concentrate on standing up.
In the middle of a show?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then I get depressed. I get really sad with altitude sickness and I have to like be in a room in the hotel that has a lot of windows So like I can open the windows and like have the light and I don't feel like I should walk into traffic.
Wow.
But it's awful.
And are you aware during the Depression that this is due to your
Yes. Because the first time it happened, I didn't know. And I was like, why? I'm the saddest human. I'm so sad. I hate this. I have to do these shows and like pretend to be happy. And then I Googled it once I left. I was like, can altitude sickness make you sad? And I was like, wow. Yeah, it's a part of it. But it's absolutely wild. Like this last time, I knew it was going to happen. And then I was like sitting in my bed, sobbing about nothing. I think I maybe like stubbed my toe and I was like, nothing will ever be the same.
Wow. But really, it's like, I was just so sad to be this high.
Yeah, I'm too high up. I have to come down.
I don't want to be so close to the sky.
I don't want to be this close to Jesus. I gotta go.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
it's real tough.
Wow. I don't know that we should talk more about food poisoning, but have you ever had it the other way?
Puking?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not a puker. I do not throw up a lot.
Interesting.
You've had it the other way.
Oh, yes, many, many times.
Yeah, no.
And I've had both at once.
Well, how does that work out? Do you have to get a bucket?
You have to be near a toilet. Yeah, you have to be near something.
Oh, wait.
I can't believe we're talking about
I've
this.
had that
You're
once.
allowed to cut. Please cut this.
But no, don't cut this. I've had it once where I was like, just like shitting, blasting off, and then being like, I gotta get up and turn around.
What about the exact same time?
No, that's never happened.
Okay.
My body's been kind to me. It's like one then the other.
It's happened to me at the exact same time. Where literally there's in the center, in my core, there are multiple explosions happening, and it's going in both directions.
Oh, yikes. I could never.
It was so bad. I thought I should be dead. I should be dead. And I was in London.
What did you eat? Do you remember?
Scallops. In Chinatown.
Sometimes seafood will really fucking wreck you. I love seafood.
And I had food. So I was there for 2 months for a job. And at the beginning of the job, I got food poisoning. And then a month later, I had scallops and I got it again.
You know, you got to bookend things sometimes. You know? What's it like working with Harrison Ford?
He is so cool. I love working with him. He is, it's so weird. It's still weird. Like, he's Han Solo. He's Indiana Jones. He's Jack Trainer from Working Girl.
Never seen that.
You never saw Working Girl?
No.
Oh.
And I've never seen Indiana Jones, but I have ridden the ride. So I get it.
It's just like
it's like we're exploring.
So I get it, Bugs. That's a terrifying ride.
Really? I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It's the darkness. It's the bugs. It's the snakes. It scares the shit out of me.
Have you ever done the Disney Plaid experience?
Yes.
That's how I did it. I'll never go back to Disney again unless a friend is paying for it and invites me.
It's very hard to go. I
love it.
After you've done the plaids.
Michael, my favorite part was you enter from the exit and then you look at a child who's been waiting for 3 hours and then you get on before them. And you're like, yeah! I loved it. Oh my God.
You get on the ride and then there's like a slight delay and you're like, what's happening?
Yes, you instantly become a bitch. You're like, why aren't we going? And then you can ride the ride twice if you want.
I know.
That blew me away.
I know.
You just don't get off.
I know. I know. You could literally do every ride in the park.
It's so
in
fun.
A day. So when I was doing Ugly Betty, we had this privilege to go. You could get a plaid for. I don't know what it is anymore, but back then, because this was an ABC show and ABC Studios, so it's all Disney, and we had this privilege where we could get it. We could get it 4 times a year.
We just softly both gasped.
Two gasps.
Because it is, I think, $10,000.
To pay for it?
I think when you pay for it, it's $10,000.
It ranges from $450 to $900 per hour with a minimum of 7 hours. So it could roughly equal like $10,000.
Yeah. And then there's how many people minimum?
10, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
I think it. Minimum. Sorry.
So there's like a minimum amount of people that you need, I think.
My maximum was 10 people.
Oh, maybe there's a max. And maybe it could just be like
but
one
it was
or two
all free.
people.
For me, it was all free.
That's so fucking cool.
Free. 10 free tickets and a free guide. I mean, that's the perk. And also,
That's
by the
so
way,
nice.
I was on TV. So it's not like I couldn't afford to buy tickets to
Which
Disneyland.
is funny.
I know.
Because
That's the whole thing.
when you start making money, you get a lot of free things. And I'm like, where the fuck was that at when I didn't have money?
I know. It's wild.
It blows me away.
Every time I get something for free, I'm like, really? This is just free for me?
Yeah, it's nuts. Like clothing companies will send me clothes and I'm like, but I have them now. I have clothing. So now I like give it to like friends and stuff.
Oh,
like
well,
if I guess I shouldn't say it on the podcast, but I'm like, you'll cut this out. Now we'll do more podcasts that you can keep. Michael, do you have any advice for single people?
Great question. And I'm not sure that I really do have any advice, but I do think when my friends who are single, who are perpetually single, I think that they are looking too closely for someone. And not necessarily allowing themselves to accept interest from people. And maybe this quicker way to say that is their standards are too high, or their standards are too specific. Because I don't even want to like say too high, because that's all subjective, right? But I do sometimes feel like people who are perpetually single are they're looking with blinders on and not being open to other possibilities. Is that a crazy thing to say?
I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. When I was single, I think I had blinders on, being like, I just want a relationship. And then my therapist was like, how about you stop going into dates going, I want a relationship, and you go into dates with zero expectations. So if you have a bad time, it's bad. If you have a good time, it's good. But you had no expectations, so you had a nice time. Either you have a story or you had a nice experience or whatever. And that changed how I looked at dating a lot.
That's very interesting. And I feel like that advice works for a lot of different things, not just dating.
I mean, it works with auditions. I never go into an audition being like, maybe I'll like want it, but I'm just like, this is why I miss in-person auditions. Because if it's in Santa Monica, okay, I drive an hour, whatever. But during that hour, I go, I'm going to perform for 2 to 3 people. And during that performance, they're going to laugh because I'm really funny. When I walk in, they're going to be really excited to see me. And then either I'll get it or I won't. I don't know. But I'm going to have a nice time for like the hour that I drive down and then the 10, 15 minutes I'm in there.
Yeah.
And that really helps.
That's great.
It helps when, because it's like, I'm not going to book everything. Also, half the time there's an offer out to somebody.
Right.
Also, usually by the time they get to me, they've been like, oh, we keep rereading the script and we have to have some sort of diversity.
Right. We cast all these other people.
We got to get some black in here. And then I'm always late, so sometimes I'll miss the black hour and I'm there for the Asian hour.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
It's happened so many times where I'm like, am I in the right place? And I'm like, and then I'll see a couple names of girls I know and I'm like, I missed the black hour.
The black hour.
But yeah, you can't like get precious about things.
Well, and also with auditions, like, unless you blow it, and that's the thing. If you go in and blow it, okay, that's on you. Most of the time, you either got it or didn't get it before you even walk in.
Correct. And a lot of times it's like, just make sure the casting director, like I've gotten other parts and things.
Yeah.
Where it's like down the line, they're like, hey, can you just come in for a day and do these 6 lines? We just like you. And I'm like, great. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've also had casting directors be like, honey, you're not right for this, but we just needed a laugh today. And I'm like, you didn't have to tell me that, but glad I made the drive.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And
acting is interesting.
It's wild.
The whole
right?
industry is so strange.
It's so strange.
Anyway, Michael, we've really come to the end. Do you have anything you want to promote?
I'm on shrinking.
Are you season 3 is airing? It just aired?
No, we're shooting season 3.
Okay,
Currently
so season 2
shooting
just aired.
season 3. Season 2 just aired. And And season 3 is going to be awesome.
That's exciting. You work with one of my favorite people, Jessica Williams.
Oh my God.
I love
Who's
her
in
so much.
Roadhouse.
Yes.
And is fantastic.
She's the best.
It's a great, I think you would really like it.
The cast is really fun.
And it's fun. It's so
It's
fun.
on my list of things I need to watch. I won't lie to your face. I haven't watched it yet, but I've watched little clips from it. And there's a very funny clip about, oh shit, it's a lady screaming. Oh, I shouldn't have brought it up. This is humiliating.
There's a great clip that you may have seen where he beats a bunch of people up in the parking lot. And it's all very silly and charming.
No, this is a
very
lady
charming.
in a neighborhood,
Okay.
and she's yelling, and maybe there's garbage cans.
This could be any movie. Maybe there's garbage
Listen,
cans.
sometimes I'll be explaining things to people, and they're like, you have to use more words. And I'm like, I don't know how. Wait, Michael, I ask everybody this. I've only missed it a couple of times. Would you date me?
Yes. I think we would have a really good time.
I think so, too.
Sexually.
Me too. I would suck your dick so hard and with fervor. Okay, if you like this episode of we've reached the end. If you like this episode of Why Won't You Date Me, you could like it, you could rate it, subscribe, give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you write me something nasty hitting on me to whywontyoudatemepodcast@gmail.com, I will read it. This person writes, "Hi, Nicole. I found a special recipe to satisfy your lasagna craving." I love lasagna. I once ate it every Friday for a year. You bring your big old pussy noodles.
Oh, my God.
And I'll bring the Italian sausage. We'll use tomato sauce as lube. Oh, my God, that's going to burn. And my cum will make it extra cheesy. Your cum is sick. I'll fuck you so well, you'll be moaning in Italian. Oh, mamma mia.
Oh, my God.
Italian. Or something like that. Anyway, grazie. That's Italian. From Alex. Hey, Alex. Thank you. But if your cum is cheese, you got to get thee to the doctor. Okay, bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.